morning, Green Spring. Today is Monday, March 16. I'm Elke Martin, your host, and across the divide is Kimberly Nelson, our Director of Philanthropy. As you can see, we are practicing social distancing. This is what it looks like. We like to spend time together, we'll talk, but we're not going to be as close as normal, or what used to be normal. So good morning, Kimberly.
Good morning.
How are you over there?
Happy to be here on a Monday morning.
Well, good. I'm glad you're happy.
The sun is out. It's a little brisk of a day, but lovely. No rain, no snow.
Good.
So that's great.
Spring is a-coming.
It is coming.
Okay.
And a good point, despite everything going on campus, you can still take a walk outside.
That's right.
The pond is here. You know, flowers are slowly starting to come out.
Oh, we have beautiful colors.
Bud, and it's a great opportunity to take advantage of all the things of nature that we have here around campus.
Absolutely,
So,
and it's good for us to walk and move our body.
Yes.
Right, our bodies are
another
made
way
to move.
to get your steps in without necessarily going to the gym, and so that's great. So
That's right.
keep that in mind.
Be outside, enjoy the flowers and the colors and the birds, and social distancing all at the same time.
Yes. Or even just find a bench and read a book and enjoy the day.
Yeah, I saw a poster the other days. Walking, being outside, family, reading, laughing.
Yes.
Not canceled.
Right, yeah, so that's really exciting. So, but there are a lot of changes going on, and since we mentioned social distancing before we get into scholars, I thought I would just do a little highlight of some things. There was a notice in resident cubbies last night that went out late last night, and we've been getting a few calls about it. The memo from Chandra Kumar that was in your cubbies dated for the 15th had to do specifically with Garden Ridge.
Right.
And so if you skim through it too quickly, you might inadvertently think it relates to independent living. It is Garden Ridge.
That's the one where all the aides and everybody entering has to be subject to
temperature checks, no dining, like they're doing all in-room dining, in-room activities. Everything is, you know, very, very restrictive. Again, because
very, very careful.
Yes, because again, our residents in Garden Ridge are the most frail and vulnerable on all of Green Springs campus.
Absolutely.
And so that's why those precautions are in place. So I don't want residents to panic in independent living thinking, oh, everything's stopped.
I have to stay in my apartment.
Yeah, so some things have stopped in independent living and some things have been modified. And of course the situation is fluid, and we somehow seem to get some new wrinkle every day. But what most residents will probably notice this morning when they get up and maybe go out and about is in the lobby at Hunter's Crossing, Village Square, and Town Center, we have a two-person, what we're calling a concierge desk. Now, it is not concierge in the sense of probably what we might normally think of, but those are two staff members who are in essence stopping people from coming into the community building unless they have a special pass.
I saw that yesterday.
Yes.
There was one person, it was Sunday.
Yes.
And I thought that was really very attentive and very good.
Yeah, so we started rolling it out yesterday and working through the kinks.
Well, and yesterday was new and not everybody had heard it yet, I'm sure.
Yes.
And people on a Sunday wanted to visit, maybe.
Yes. And so again, if you are expecting delivery from Peapod, for example, or a family member is bringing you something, they will be allowed on campus curb to curb. So they will come to the front of the community building. One of those two individuals will help them and get things unloaded from the car.
You mean one of the staff members?
One of the staff who are sort of at the concierge table. And we will then call you and get it to your apartment. So you don't have to come down and pick it up. and you don't have to have your friend or neighbor or family member come in to bring it to you. We are really stopping everyone at the door.
And does that then also mean that you shouldn't come to the front and go outside your community building and have a little visit with your friend there who is delivering? Or how is that?
Well, again, it's independent living, so everyone will make their own decisions. We as a community are asking residents to really stay either inside with your neighbors you know, or if you're going for a walk by yourself. We're not wanting to bring outside folks into the building on a regular basis. We're really being very cautious.
Well, I remember what Dr. Dar said on Friday, I think it was, that if you then go outside and meet your friends there, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yes. So we would prefer that. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible in light of the situation, as convenient as possible. We know some of the items residents have delivered are heavy, so staff will help move it and bring it into your apartment. And if it's groceries and you need help getting things on the counter or out of boxes, that's what we're here to help. That's a nice thing about being at Green Spring. We can help each other, and that's what we're jumping in to do. So you're going to see some new folks at the concierge desk, and this is on purpose so that we also don't overwhelm the front desk.
Yes.
Because we want the front desk available for you, the residents.
Well, the front desk is still the front desk.
Yes.
Working.
Yes, exactly. And so this extra burden of duties, the front desk cannot manage. That's why we have this concierge before that. So that inside the buildings, things continue to remain calm and business as usual, and visiting with friends at social distancing, but really being cautious. It's really just an abundance of caution. It is the same thing with resident clubs and groups. You know, we have reduced and stopped all of our large clubs and groups. We're doing, at the current time, 25 people or less. So if you're doing a small group meeting, something like that. But again, everyone is internal. So just know Chandra Kumar will continue to send updates via voice shout and via cubby stuffers as things come up. But we really appreciate the residents' patience, your care, your concern, you're worried about the staff and each other. It's so important.
I certainly appreciate the thoughtfulness with which you and management have dealt with it so far, and the care we see in the dining rooms, for example. And so it's clear that things have to change as the situation changes. None of us know how it's going to continue, so we'll all have to be a little more open and flexible than we're used to, maybe.
And I really appreciate that. It's really so important, because I want you to also remember that the staff are equally concerned.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, if you think about it, we have staff who have children and young children and aging parents, and so staff are coming to Green Spring because they care and love for the residents so much, but yet they also have worries at home. And so this really helps keep all of us safe and all of us working together. So I know sometimes things aren't always as timely or as quick, or maybe the messages don't get to everyone at the same time. We are doing our very best to communicate. Watch the scroll, use your My Erickson app, check your cubbies for information, the front desk for information, but just most of all, practice patience and flexibility as we all work together, because we want to keep everyone safe and healthy.
Well, and like you said, everybody does their best. That's important to remember.
And we're not doing changes just to make life more difficult.
Well, it's more difficult on you, for starters.
This is all for the goodness of everyone. The other thing is, Green Spring TV, you know, we also replay these shows on YouTube, online. So as you watch Village in Motion, if you miss it and you're let family and friends know.
Yeah, that's the good thing about YouTube.
Yes.
When I saw that, I told people, you know, you can always catch up by going to YouTube, because that you can access it from anywhere. You don't have to be at Green Spring.
Yes, and so all of those things are so, so important.
Yeah.
There's lots of communication. Please tap into all of those and share with friends and family.
Yeah, and GSV-TV is really doing a great job in updating and
yes, and if you're watching it, you know we're at channel 1960, and if and if you have friends and neighbors who aren't familiar, please help them find that channel.
Yeah.
Because this really helps make a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So enough about COVID-19.
Exactly. Let's talk about something fun.
Let's talk about our wonderful dining servers in the dining room.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about education. I think at some point we're going to see a roll in here about education, so we'll just watch the screen when that happens. But we have a scholarship program here at Green Spring that helps high school seniors go to college and give them a little financial nudge.
I think it's more than a little.
It really is. It's very helpful, I'm telling you, and very generous of our residents.
Yes.
Because what we have found through this scholarship program over the last almost 20 years is that staff sometimes don't want to go to college, but when they see that there's a scholarship, it does nudge them to start oftentimes at the community college, to find their footing, and then to go on to a 4-year school. Or we have some that do a trade school, which is equally important and valuable. So the scholarship program here at Green Spring is strictly for high school seniors who work at Green Spring, and it is 100% funded through donations here at Green Spring.
Well, let's go to the tape now and have the roll in and see what Kimberly's talking about.
All right, great.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can learn, I can learn quicker. I can learn anything quicker than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Any grade you can get, I can get higher. I can get any grade higher than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Well, any class you can take, I can take more. I can take many more classes than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can give, I can give greater. I can give more to the Scholars Fund than you.
Please support education and give to the Green Spring Scholars Fund. We did.
What fun.
Love it.
Yes,
Isn't that
thank
fun?
you for that. It is.
Oh, so
Yes.
that was Marie Bolello, who is
That's
one
right.
of our Green Spring residents.
And
she's
Kelly Luxander,
yes,
who used to work here.
Yes, it always makes me smile when I see that video. It's
Yes.
great fun.
Yeah.
So that is
So
a
you talked, sorry to interrupt, you
That's
talked
okay.
about the scholarship fund having started close to 20 years ago. And I know we funded quite a few scholars over the years
yes,
through the 4 years that they go through college.
yes.
And you're going to talk more about it in detail, I'm sure. But here's my question. So we already have a number of scholars in the pipeline right now, right? Who are in their second, third, and fourth year.
Yes.
So then when I heard that this year's group is close to 50 scholars, I got a bit worried, I have to tell you, because that is such a huge responsibility we're taking on, right? Because we're
Yes.
in the bind now we're making a promise to them for 4 years.
Yes.
That is really big. So I was wondering whether you can talk a bit about the criteria.
Sure.
Because I wonder whether we should maybe
Yeah.
rethink them or somehow twerk them a little.
So let's talk about that. That's
Yeah.
great. So right now we have 45 students. Again, they're considered candidates right now.
Yeah.
Because until we get their final grades and some other things, we do not send any checks in the fall until every I is dotted and every T is crossed.
And the check goes to the school,
And the
correct?
check goes directly to the school, and I review every single student and every single grade and every single request for a check. So
that's why you sit in that office all day long, I see.
So I am definitely the gatekeeper and the mama bear when they don't do things right.
Yeah. But you said you have 45 applications at this point.
Yes.
And
so
is there a chance that you go back to some of them and say, we reviewed everything and sorry, it's not going to happen? Is that?
So yeah, if they do not hold their end of the bargain, if they get senioritis and don't do really well in school, then they will lose their scholarship. And so they're on the road to receive it, but it's really up to them to finish the road. So right now, you must have a 2.75 GPA.
Okay.
For your 4-year time. Now, for some residents, you're going to say, that doesn't seem like a lot. But it's really, in essence, sort of a high C average over the course of a year. The reason the committee has that right now is because many students work a job, and English is a second language for many.
And many are the first in their family to get this far,
many
right?
are,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So we sort of have weighed, and then they also have school activities. And so, again, many of our students have a 3-point and higher.
Okay.
Many do. I mean, I just reviewed one application. The student has a 4.3. So we, overall, our students are very high achievers that are hired here at Green Spring. But there are times when maybe freshman year, they don't have a good year early on. The maturity, the responsibility, the changing to high school. And so that really can impact their GPA, even if they've done exceptionally well the last couple years. That first year that isn't so good can really mess up a GPA. So that is why we have it sort of at that range.
Okay.
So and the committee looks at that really every year to sort of evaluate it, and I know they'll evaluate it again because way back when I first started here, it was a 2.0. So we clearly have made changes over time.
Yeah. And I think when I started, it was $4,000 a year.
Yes, it has changed. So, but again,
no, not a year, over the
4
course
years.
of
Yes. So it is $10,000 over the course of 4 years, paid by semester to the college directly. And again, I'm the gatekeeper to review all of those. That's pretty clear. We want to make sure we have accountability and that they're holding up their end of the bargain. They must be a full-time student. They can't just take one class and get a scholarship. They have to be full-time. So that's really important. And so as we look at the scholarship program, we really are asking residents to make a gift of education. And we have quite a few residents who've already done that through giving on their monthly bill or their monthly statement, which we really appreciate. And I know there's lots of cubbies and things going out with the COVID-19, which is why we've held off on our scholarship newsletter a little bit, because there's just so much information coming out that we just don't want to overwhelm everyone. So we'll probably do some little flyers and some notices on bulletin boards till things settle a little, and then we'll give a bigger picture. But we are starting the campaign. The showgirls will have things in the windows mid-April.
Yes.
We have moved the scholarship ceremony till June, and we'll get that date up just out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah.
We don't want to bring all these families on campus and change something last minute, so we just made that decision early.
And you're an optimist. That's good. we think by June we will back to life as we used to know it.
I am very optimistic, so I'm going to knock on wood and be optimistic. But we really, most of all, want to encourage residents to make a gift to the scholarship fund.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, 40-some students, that's a lot. So you're right. Every year our goal is to raise enough money to fully fund all of the students for all 4 years. Okay, that's our goal, and we've been pretty good at doing that goal. So again, that means if you're doing the math, you go, that's $450,000
Yep.
for 45 students. And we know that annual giving is not the only way to raise that money. So we ask residents to give through an annual gift, or maybe through their minimum required distribution, or maybe if they're wanting to sell or transfer stock, we can do that. But the other way residents also make significant gifts is they say, maybe I can do a little bit through my annual because, I'm on a fixed income. But maybe they say, I want to designate something through my estate plan for the Scholars Fund.
Yeah.
And let Kimberly know, and let's make sure we do it the right way because I want to do something more significant later. So when you combine those two together, we would like to have $450,000 that gets designated to the scholars this calendar year, so that helps fund those students. If that helps everyone, because I don't want residents to say, oh, panic. Nope, it's a combination of resources.
Yeah. I thought it was good last year, I think, is when you started the GEM project. I think that means give every month.
Yes,
right?
Yes,
and
thank you.
That makes it easier, I find, in my case anyway, makes it easier to, give a little bit every month. You don't notice it so much, but over the course of the year it adds up, and it
does.
If enough people do it, it certainly helps you out.
Yeah, well, and it also is easier. You don't have to think about it. So, for example, we have residents like you, who've done the give every month, and then when the notice comes out for scholars and we say give, you just check that box and say, I've already done it.
Yeah.
You now have the information, but you don't have to give again. If you get so inspired or something happens and you win the lottery and you want to do something more.
Or your tax return comes in.
Or something good comes, we of course appreciate it, but it means you're ahead of the curve, as they say, and you've already made that commitment, and we really appreciate that. And you're going to start to see yellow ribbons that say, I support the Scholars Fund, that residents and staff will start to wear as we get this rolled out. And you'll see yellow buttons that the students in the dining room will start to wear that says they're one of our scholar candidates. And so you will start to see these things over the next couple weeks to help us showcase our students and help celebrate them in their next journey.
I also particularly enjoy reading their little blurb that they put up that then appears in the showcases in the different community buildings. We
really have some very talented students, and they're really looking at very interesting things to do with their career. It could be going to school locally and doing a trade school to going to New York and doing fashion interior design and, all kinds of things. So we really have a very diverse but very talented group of servers. And what you see in the dining room is just that server front facing, but there is so much depth and heart to our scholars that what a nice gift we can give them from Green Spring to say we support you in your next journey in life.
And I particularly enjoy the celebration, that big night that you put on when the family comes, and you can see how much it means to the families. They are so touched by it. That's beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
The
I
Green
like that.
Spring community really has such a far-reaching impact in the greater Springfield area with this scholarship, because the students, I mean, they share it at the high schools, the principals are aware of it, of course the parents are so appreciative. And you just, when you meet them at the ceremony, you know, and your favorite server, and you finally get to meet their family, and hugs all around, because we'll be hugging by then.
Let's hope.
That's our goal.
We'll have an announcement on that.
Yes.
Chandra Kumar, I'm
yes.
sure.
We'll have a big poster that says now it's okay to hug.
Yeah.
But for
and
now,
of course,
social distance.
GSV-TV is part of it too,
Yes.
right? They always make a little film clip.
They always do something to help highlight our students. So we just want to say this is a great program. We do it every spring, especially for new residents who aren't familiar.
Yes.
It is the gift of education and helping those just take that next journey in life. And we really appreciate that the Green Spring community, residents and staff, just wrap their arms around these students to say, you can do it, and we really just thank residents in advance for getting behind it. It really is a great program.
It sure is.
Yeah, thank you.
As we wrap up, can you tell us briefly how many students so far Green Spring has sponsored? And
Oh my goodness.
I think it's way over 100, right?
Oh, it's way over 100. So we, wow, I wasn't.
sorry.
That's okay. So I probably review about 200 checks every semester, because they're in various stages of the pipeline.
Yeah.
And over the years, gosh, I bet you we're at 600 or 700 easy, would be my guess.
Wow.
I'll have to double check that now.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting number to know.
We've had quite a few.
Because that's something for Green
It's
Spring residents
significant.
to be proud of too.
It's significant.
Because we
Yes.
really make a difference in the world there.
Yes. It
And
is.
right now, when we are sequestered back here, it may feel particularly good,
Yeah.
you know, to think about how we still have an impact outside.
And just know the students, you know, they're off from school. They're stressed about graduation. And what does all this mean? But yet they're still
Yes.
coming to work
Yeah.
with a smile and putting their best foot forward for you, the resident, because they really care and love the residents at Green Spring.
Well, hopefully that's something they've learned in that time here.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
much. So, and then just a quick note, unrelated to scholars, just be aware of scams. You know, with this new COVID-19, I heard that there's new scams coming up that relate to that, so protect yourself. I had a resident say they're getting things with Amazon Prime that looks real, that's not.
Oh,
so
okay.
anything that's unusual, just keep an eye out. You know, this is always, anytime there's a crisis, it seems like a new scam pops up.
Yeah, and when you're already a little insecure in what's
Yes.
going on today, so
Yes, so just
stay alert
stay
and
alert.
question everything that
Yes.
comes. If you're not familiar with it, there's a
Yes.
delete button somewhere.
yes, if it's important, they'll call back.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
Kimberly, this was delightful.
Thank
you
you.
so much
Great
for
questions.
being here
Thank
with us
you.
this morning
Thank
and,
you.
at a safe distance.
Yes,
It was a
thank
good
you.
conversation to
Thank
have
you.
had.